that would conflict, obviously. I guess that's kind of my question. What advice do you have for me as a Republican aspiring social worker?
What would conflict?
I don't know, like, how to say it properly.
I think I can help. The social work industry is very much about a perspective generally of that people in poverty are there permanently and not trying to break people out of poverty into the middle class or
Troublemaker, he says, not hard to Google, Dave. You're running? Okay. Getting real. I like this.
All right.
higher levels.
Right.
And that's why the Democrat Party and social work are very intertwined.
Right, exactly.
They view poverty not as a series of choices, but as a station in life that is immovable, largely.
Right.
Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say. That's why my personal focus is on the children in underprivileged communities, because I personally feel like they don't choose to be put in that position. But I'm having a little bit of a difficult time empathizing with the older generation of underprivileged, and not in every community, but I don't know how to not sound bad. I know you are great at not sounding bad when you say stuff, but I don't want to say something that'll get me in trouble.
Well, here's one way to look at it, and Charlie, that was helpful, actually. The Great Society from Lyndon Johnson. It was a series of policies that were designed to help underprivileged communities.
Right.
They hurt the very people they were supposed to help.
How?
Well, the reality is it created dependence on government. So you have a lot of single mothers, for example, that are paid more money not to have a man in the house than to have a man in the house because of the way the math of these aid programs
What do you
work.
mean?
Well, often the way the math of the aid is...
Shout out Troublemaker $2. He says, man, F Kamala and Trump. I don't praise who I vote for. Okay. Fair take, actually.
Fair take.
And Vladstein chime in and he says, round one, fight.
I mean, bro, y'all is all right then. And then, oh God, man.
It's calculated as if you have an earning husband in the household that actually causes you to disqualify for forms of federal aid.
Right.
That were
Big Wave Dave 82, $5. He says, yes, everything you find on Google is definitely proof. Go get me a Bible from Trump and show me the made in China tag. Hey, shout out.
I mean, that's fair. That is fair. That's
You
fair.
can Google whatever you want, bro.
So also
You
let
can find
me
an
know-
article to back whatever narrative.
I mean, and
you
please
got.
let me know the distributor, because I need to know. I like to go deep, like for real, like no Diddy, because
Oh, I'm weak.
come on, I need to go above the surface level. You showing me it's from Trump in China. I'm like, all right, but who's the company who's distributed this? Where did you buy it from? What company you buy it from? It's like, I just need to know these things.
And shout out CLB77 $2. Spying on a sitting pres is treason, Obama. Oh, busy.
designed to help you.
Right.
But actually, the best way to get kids in your own household ahead is in a two-parent household, because if you're raised in a two-parent household, you're less likely to end up in jail, less likely to end up in poverty, more likely to graduate from high school. So one of the ways that, if you're asking for advice, I would say for the people around you, even who might lean left, you can recognize their intentions come from a good place.
Absolutely.
But the policies of their leaders have actually betrayed the very people they were supposed to help. And you can let them know, because I believe this is genuinely true. Not just the Republican Party, but our conservative movement. We care about lifting people up from poverty. We just care about actually doing it rather than talking about it. That's what I would say.
The other thing I'll say is that we as conservatives believe that if you're in poverty, it's largely because of values, not because of lack of stuff.
Like what values?
Not saving money. Spending all of your money in your paycheck as you get it, for example. Abandoning your spouse after impregnating them. Not spending all of your money on alcohol and drugs and instead opening a 401k. So values are the #1 predictor of entering the middle class. And there's a great book called Life at the Bottom. You should read it, by Theodore Dalrymple, who is a social worker in the United Kingdom. It's called Life at the Bottom, where he got into social work because he wanted to help people, and he realized it was not a lack of stuff. It wasn't lack of housing, lack of food stamps. It was that their value system was one that kept them poor. So yeah, really quick, then I want to get to the next question.
I'm just struggling because in all of my social work classes right now, they're talking about all of those things. And
they're wrong.
So what do I do? I'm trying to learn about what I want to do.
I think you need to stay in social work because you're called to do it, but there's an amazing amount of literature from Thomas Sowell to Shelby Steele to Theodore Dalrymple that get to...
Shout out Thomas Sowell.
Down to actual root causes of poverty, which is not lack of stuff, but is worldview. And I think that'd be super helpful.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Trump 2024.
Yes, you want a hat? Thank you. Yes, great. Thank you. According to the way that the asylum laws are written, the entire nation of Mexico applies under asylum.
Yeah, the entire nation of Mexico applies under asylum the way these asylum laws are written. It's kind of crazy. But shout out Vladstein, man. Any woman that votes for America first is beautiful. Oh, God. Even though that girl could lose a little bit around the edges, man. But, well, the chest area was
I'm weak.
impressive.
I'm weak.
Impressive.
Do you think that you have a right to immigrate to America? Is diversity and inclusion really an American ideal?
I knew you
Are
were...
you okay with deporting every illegal person that's here? Do you think that the American government should first have an obligation to citizens before foreigners? Nobody is asking these questions. We're just saying, if you want to come in, you can come in. Do you see anything wrong with, I don't know, taking in 5% of...
Get that one for me real quick, B-Dog.
Hey, and shout out Maya, $5. He says they were printed in China, but the fact that it's such a petty thing for troublemaker to cry about makes the tears delicious. I'm weak.
Yeah, let me go take myself a nice little chug of these liberal tears real quick. Oh, man.
And again, I just think this is a part of the system, part of the dependency we have on China. Again, it's not like he had the option of manufacturing in China versus America and chose China. Now, I'm sure you could say he did, but let's just be honest. China has the market on manufacturing, which is to say you're going to have a better time as far as profits, production costs by going the Chinese route. And it is part of the problem. It is part of what he's calling out. Hopefully, we vote him in. He can enact the change necessary to kind of get some of these markets, some of these manufacturers back domestic. But yeah, he didn't choose China over American manufacturing just because.
Yeah, and I do hate these asylum laws because we don't fact check them. They just come over here with whatever story, and they're just allowed in the country. I mean, you should hear the stories that the transgenders immigrants use. Oh, I'm discriminated in my country, but are you in danger, though?
Right.
It's like, yes. Okay, well, why? Oh, our government is against us. Oh, well, come over here. We've been paid for your surgeries. You know, shout out, a courtesy of California.
Of the population of Haiti. If someone comes into your dorm room uninvited and they do the dishes and laundry, they can stay?
If I'm not going to do my own dishes, heck yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hi. All right.
Hello.
Oh, hi. I'm going to start off by saying I'm a political science student. I'm a second year here at K-State. And I'm a first-generation student.
Try to turn it up a little bit.
Turn it up a little bit?
Yeah, perfect. Great. Thank you. And what's your name
Perfect.
again?
Alondra
Nice to meet
Alvarez. Yeah. So I just had a question.
And shout out Vladstein, man. He said China has slave labor to make it cheap.
Exactly.
Because you talk a lot about like protecting and securing our southern borders. But as the granddaughter of immigrants, I think that we get into a lot of complicated disputes with the idea that immigrants are criminals or drug dealers and things like that. So I just want to hear what your opinion is on those expectations or those what do you call it? Those stereotypes that are put on Hispanic communities, Latino communities, and how they change the way people perceive immigration.
Sure. So, thank you for the question. So you said you're the first generation
Yes,
student
I am.
or first generation American?
I'm a first generation student.
Cool, great. Second generation American? Did I hear that right? Or-
Third generation
Cool.
American on my mom's side.
Great.
Second on my dad's.
When your grandparents, then, is that right, came
Yes.
to this country, did they do so through the legal process that was in front of them?
So my father got married to my mother, so he's a legal resident of the United States. She's been here her entire life.
But did she enter legally?
She did. She's
Okay.
she's born here. Yeah.
Got it.
My grandpa on my dad's side entered in illegally.
Okay. So I'm not here to like insult your grandpa, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, but I we must be very clear that the type of immigration that we support is when you follow our rules and you come on our terms, and that you do not.
And here comes Troublemaker with another one, man. Trump is a hypocrite, a liar. When he says that he's America first, he is Trump first. He cares more about his profit than investing in American jobs. And I believe that is his response to Big Wave Dave, or if that's us. But I would highly disagree because let's be real. He's one of the only presidents. Actually, he is the only president in my belief to walk out the White House with less money. who did not see no significant gain in his net worth.
Didn't take the salary of president, donated it, came in with his own money, came in with his own backing, his own funding.
Bro, gave tax cuts and all that good stuff. So, he only gave tax cut to his people. No, he gave tax cut to the middle class as well. No. Don't go there. So, yeah, when it's kind of funny when you say, oh, he's about himself. I'm like, okay, well, when he says no tax on overtime, Trump don't work overtime. So that's pretty much more for the people. No tax on tips. Trump don't earn tips. That's more for the people. So I'm trying to wonder when y'all say, oh, he don't care about America first. He cares about himself. Well, what laws only benefit Trump?
And let me add to that, because as an entrepreneur and as an American businessman, Trump stands to benefit when the American economy is strong. So to say that he's not for American jobs, it just doesn't make any sense. It'd almost be going against his own personal interests. As selfish as you say he is, he wins when the economy's strong. He has American businesses. He's an entrepreneur for God's sake, right? Entrepreneur first before a politician. So your stance is kind of is a little bit confused, because he stands to win. He stands to benefit when we have a strong domestic economy.
And a shout out to Mega 8, man. He says, oh, God, they need to verify the votes. I mean, every single one of them, G. Every single one of them.
Shout out.
Shoot, I'll be happy to sit there as one of the vote verifiers. I'll sit there and spend 16 hours of my time.
Not break into a country uninvited, and you try to cut.
Can I add something to that? The reason why he left, and a lot of people in Mexico do, is because of the political state, especially in the 70s and 80s, when they decided to move. They have a government that isn't supportive of their constituents, and because of drug problems, their only choice was to move.
Yeah, I totally sympathize. That's not true. It's never the only choice to commit a crime, and we should not put up with it. And so it is an insult to other immigrants from Vietnam and Laos and Pakistan that have to wait decades in line to morally equivalate people that come in and just break in. Oh, I have an unstable country. Like half of the world's countries are unstable.
Yeah, but that's why we have the asylum seekers program,
which is heavily abused. And we're talking two different things. Asylum seekers and walking into the country illegally are similar but different things. Right, and so we have millions of gotaways of people that we have no idea who they are. They're not declaring asylum. They just run across the border.
Well, because they can't. The system doesn't allow other people from Mexico specifically to assign themselves
who they are the last couple of years. So look, we just have to be very clear with this: is that if you come into the country uninvited, you have committed a crime and you are a criminal. And we could decide that we're not going to enforce our laws. Or we can say that when you are a criminal, you should then be punished for that.
With respect to all migrants, first, second, third generation, and so on and so forth. Again, like Charlie Kirk said, this isn't to disrespect anybody's lineage. I understand circumstances may differ from family to family, from individual to individual, but you got to call a spade in this scenario. And I'm speaking from a position of a migrant family, right, who came to the country legally, right, and it just so happens to be my case. But I can respect anybody who has a differing case, but you do have to understand legal migration, illegal migration. What we want and what we want to incentivize is people coming over, respecting our laws and customs, which is ultimately entering our country legally.
For that crime, aka sent back to your country of origin, because you were not invited. And it is an insult, again, to the Poles and to the Czechoslovakians and from the Senegalese and people all across the world that don't have the proximity or the luxury just to waltz into America.
You call it a luxury to leave a country that has political tyranny and come into a country with opportunity?
Yes, to live in Mexico, to be able to go 100 miles north.
How long could we be a country with political opportunity if we're just accepting everybody from everywhere?
Yeah, low key.
Like, if we're supposed to be this beacon of free speech, this beacon of freedom, doesn't it kind of deteriorate if we just keep taking in people from all walks? I mean, I understand it might sound like an asshole thing to say, but America first is America being prioritized. Like, we can't just take in anybody like some lost puppy.
I believe it's the rule of marginal utility that, you could put more of something in and it will degrade the value of it. So we keep bringing in more immigrants, it will degrade the value of maybe our immigration system, our economy, our nation.
Point.
Things to break into America. Do you know how many people in Pakistan would kill to be on that border?
That's why we bring them in.
Well, we shouldn't, right? That's the point. And secondly, do you think that you have a right to immigrate to America?
I think that I didn't have a choice. My grandparents made that decision for me.
And I'm not trying to attack your grandparents, but no one has a right to go to anybody else's country. You are invited. It is a privilege, not a right, to come into America.
So it's a privilege to live a life that requires you to have clean water, clean food, clean air.
Yes, of course it is.
And
yes, it is, because y'all don't want to settle it down there in Mexico. So yes, it is a privilege that we Americans have to work for, that we pay tax dollars into. And the fact that y'all just cross the border disrespecting our policy so y'all can get some of that, yeah, it's downright disrespectful and it's illegal, and we should send your ass back. But, you know, that's just how I feel about it.
And life ain't fair. Life ain't fair. You might be born into a situation that isn't all the way peaches and cream or doesn't have the best outlook. Life ain't fair. And I know that might not be the most pleasing thing to say or hear, but it just is the reality of the situation. It's the objective facts. And shout out Troublemaker, $10. Tax cuts to lower classes expired. The rich tax cuts stayed. He cut taxes for himself. The no tax on tip, unlike Kamala's plan, is a loophole for the rich to classify income as tip and not pay taxes.
Well, hold on. We need the tax cuts for the rich because they're the ones that provide the jobs. You remember that. They're the ones who give the opportunity to small businesses and also provide the jobs to the people. So I really want to know, like, well, why do y'all have this hatred of them getting a tax cut when they get their tax cut, they usually reinvest. So, you know, reinvest with new buildings, I don't know, new employees, all this good stuff that give you opportunity. Like, think about it. The main reason you're even able to super chat is because of some rich person handing down a check.
And I'd like to further that point by saying your interpretation of his no tax on tips is you've inserted your own bias. No economist or political experts have said that that's a loophole. So, I mean, you're kind of inserting your own bias right there.
Yeah, because what are they going to say? Oh, yeah, now I'm going to put my whole earnings, all my revenue is now going to be tips. That,
come on now.
How are you going to prove that it all donated? Especially if you get paid from a corporation or you get paid from that. I don't know. You get paid from, you have to get paid a corporation. How are you going to frame a corporation as a tip? I don't know. You'd have
you have to fight for that?
Yes, it is not.
But we didn't.
Hold on a sec. Well,
born here, we didn't
second.
fight for that?
Well, my ancestors did fight for that, actually, and I'm a very thankful recipient of many generations of Americans that fought for the greatest nation ever to exist.
By doing what? Coming here?
Well,
illegally?
Wait, what did my ancestors do? They came
here illegally.
They came over here in 1620. Fought in the Revolutionary War, fought in the Civil War, fought in World War I.
So because my grandpa didn't come here in 1620, it gives him no right to have a good life?
He can fill out paper.
No, because your grandfather came over here illegally and just took advantage of the system that was in place, then yeah, that's the problem here. I mean, like I said, we have no problem. You came over here legally, you're good. We love you. But if you come over here illegally, then yes, we do have a problem with you. And we're not trying to disrespect what your grandfather did. I'm sure he did it so you can live this life today. But we're not going to sit here and act like your grandfather just did it all right. No, he did wrong to get you to where you're at today. And honestly, you should honestly not only respect that, but honestly see that, okay, yeah, that wasn't the best thing for him to do.
Work and wait in line like the rest of the world. And then we can see whether or not it's in our best interest to allow him to come in. And so we have to weigh costs and benefits. I'm not saying we should have no immigrants, but immigration must be a net benefit for the American homeland and for the American citizen. We have brought in 10 million people in these last couple of years. We have now brought in 5% of the population of Haiti. Nobody is asking these questions. We're just saying, if you want to come in, you can come in. Do you see anything wrong with, I don't know, taking in 5% of the population of Haiti?
Not necessarily, no. If we have the land and the resources to house them, it shouldn't be that big deal to bring in immigrants.
Really? Do you think that the American government should first have a obligation to citizens before foreigners?
Okay, I think we have an
answer
obligation.
the question. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Yeah, we're obligated because we're citizens to have the rights that we have, but that doesn't mean we can't open up our borders when we have the process to do so.
You, being a younger American, and everyone in the audience, is the first generation in American history to have it be worse off than your parents. So the social, and you agree with that, social contract, poor, more expensive. Yeah. So wouldn't it be rational for the American government to say, we're going to prioritize younger generation Americans that are American passport holders and citizens before those in another nation?
I don't want to say anything that offends people, but
I've
already
ahead.
said it, right? I've already said
Yeah.
it. Whatever. I think that the way we're going about it is wrong. And that if we don't have a clear path to citizenship, we won't open up those opportunities for people to come and seek a good life. But I also think
But
that,
it's
yeah,
not-
we are
it's
required
not-
to.
But that's where I always go to, where the whole immigration thing is kind of a scam, because we're getting, these people are, like I said, coming over here, running away from their country, and it's not getting any better in that country. So what, are we just going to accept that everybody from that country because they don't want to be there? It's like, that doesn't make any sense. So we can't just sit there and feel bad for them because they're in a bad situation. No, it doesn't help them. It doesn't help their country at all. So we need to let them sit over there. Maybe try to find a way to give some economic opportunity over there, so they don't gotta jump the wall to come over here, or dig under the wall to come over here. It's better to create opportunity over there than letting them try to get in on the opportunity over here, which is meant for the American people.
Have those rights ourselves
Seeking a
as
good
American
life
citizens.
is fine. It's a nice added benefit. Our government does not exist to improve the life of foreign citizens.
But we should be open to the idea of accepting
Of
that.
course we are, if we have our own
Yep.
house in order. We are in chaos right now. We have the most depressed, suicidal, anxious generation in history. Our birth rate is collapsing. Kids can't afford homes.
Yeah.
You guys are drowning in debt. You have to compete you have to compete for jobs against foreigners. Our country is a mess right now. And so when your country's a mess and your home is in disarray and bedlam, your own government should say, time out. I have a heart for the people of Haiti. I have a heart for the people of every country. But you're not coming here until this generation at least has it as good as their parents.
But it's the stereotype that I'm given as a Mexican American to fulfill those standards that people have on immigration
I
as
don't
well.
share that. I haven't said that here today. There's people from all over the world that enter the southern border now. There's 118 countries that come across the southern border. But I don't care if you enter illegally from Bulgaria or from Laos or from Mexico or from Nicaragua. Someone who does not have their paperwork when they come in is by definition breaking federal law.
Yeah,
And
but
so then what should we do with someone who breaks with federal law?
Imagine getting villainized for you wanting to protect the opportunity of the American people and trying to get America to turn in on itself, stop looking outside to fix what's inside, and start helping its people instead of trying to depend on immigrants to go ahead and flood the border so they can replace a working class, which kind of sounds like a replacement theory, seeing that we're not promoting family and children, but we're promoting abortion and liberalism. And it's great. So now we got these low abortion rates, but we got these immigrants coming in by the millions, though. Oh, man. Oh, man. Man, times we live in. And shout out Maya, man. Fun fact, Trump married an immigrant. How could he hate him? He married one. Shoot. Shout out.
does that mean that people, including
Appreciate
their
you, Maya.
children, their grandchildren, including myself,
not
have
you.
to live with the stereotype or the standard set upon me that I am a criminal, I
I'm
am
not
a drug dealer, I am a XYZ?
Okay, so I played into that stereotype.
I've heard it many, many times, not from you specifically today.
Okay, but then it's a little bit of a red herring, right? Because we're not even talking about it. I'm not.
Well, my original question was, what do you think about it?
What do I think about stereotypes?
About the stereotype given to immigrants right now and children of immigrants and people of color here.
Well, I can't talk about something I don't believe in. So, I mean, I don't want people to be stereotyped. No different than when you look at a young white man on campus, you think he's a rapist, right? Which is.
Nah, I don't.
Well, that's good. No, but that is a stereotype that is pushed sometimes. Like, oh, if you see a young man on campus, it's campus rape culture. Stereotyping is wrong.
Yeah.
It should not occur. But we also must understand.
I'm so happy I was off campus before these times hit. I mean, there was signals. There was signals of these times because I've had a couple friends who got caught up for, let's just say, being a little bit too reckless with women. I mean, you get reckless with enough women, trust me, something's going to come back on you. But, yeah, and that was just, I guess, like the pretense to the Me Too movement. I'm so happy that it was not like this because, dog, the stuff I was seeing some dudes get away with on college, bro, y'all women would have been locking their ass up. But, hey, back in the day, game is game.
Understand that the way that we constitute our immigration policy right now in this country is not in the benefit of the American citizen, and we're acting much more like a colony than a country. And where a country is where you have ties that bind you together, you have a shared history, hopefully a shared language, you have a shared culture, where a colony is you come from anywhere across the world and so be it.
Yeah, but isn't that like the point of America?
Ah,
Diversity and
so-
inclusion and
Hold-
belonging.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Where is that in the Constitution or the Declaration that diversity and inclusion, these are false ideals that are taught in school? They're, I guess, nice, but is diversity and inclusion really an American ideal?
I think so.
Where does it say that?
I think that everyone has the right to live out their own individuality, their own lives, and their own way.
I know, but you say the American ideal. Where do you get that from? Yeah, pursuit of happiness for Americans. You're right, because that's what the Declaration
I'm an
was written
American.
for.
The American
No,
dream.
that's fine.
Does that mean I'm not valid here for having a diverse background?
No, of course you are, but I'm saying that what?
So can I not express that?
Don't change the topic. You said we should be able to open up the country for people from all across the world.
Yeah.
Why do we believe that is a core belief?
Because we want to help.
Like, here's the problem. Why don't you see that as a problem like that? That's not a good mindset to have. That's actually a self-destructing mindset, believe it or not. We shouldn't just be accepting all these people into the country just because they have a sad story. Like, boo-hoo, my friend. Go over there and solve it with your people. We do need to have a cold heart to some of these people and need to open up our heart to our own people.
Help people. That's the point. We came here a long time ago. We established a country a long time ago, and we want to have other people come in, I think, to live in the luxury that we live in now.
Last question.
I knew
Are you okay?
And shout out Kingsley, man, said, like the video, man. Don't be a ninja watcher. We appreciate the support. So go ahead and double tap that screen to like the video. The 3 dots up there in the corner, man. Let's get more people in the chat, man. We do the likes. Let's push the engagement, guys. We appreciate y'all.
With deporting every illegal person that's here?
No.
Why?
Because there's some people here that are not represented well by the media. There's a lot of illegal immigrants here that are working their butts off for the life that they want.
I don't care if they're working hard. But the point is, what should the...
But some of y'all in the chat will be like, well, Trump. Did that take away from my point? You calling out Trump for whatever did not take away my point, how it is self-destructing to just want these immigrants to cross the border. Like, come on now. And can y'all watch something from the other point of view? Well, we do. Remember, bro, we do be watching the Kamala Harris rallies and all that. We done watched a couple Kamala clips. So, I mean, unless you got any recommendations, hey, we got you, my friend. We got you. Just go ahead and send me a recommendation.
Punishment be for breaking into a country?
Depends on the crime you commit after you break into it.
Okay.
Because you look at it's kind of fun though. You look at the other side's POV or their point of view, and it's kind of just off. It's like it's filled with hatred. There is really no hatred for the left on this side. Like we don't hate Biden. We don't overly hate Kamala like y'all overly hate Trump. And then if you really dig deep in your hatred of Trump, you'll find out that it's really invalid. Like you really don't have anything to stand on. Most of it is based on, well, him being taken out of context or just misinformation being fed to you. I mean, troublemaker. You telling me you still believed everything they said about Trump after they did this? I mean, no, dog. Let's just have a real moment here. After they did this, you still believe everything they say about Trump?
They said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say. I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to do it whether the women like it.
CBS News. Trump says states might monitor pregnancies to track abortions.
Or not. Whether the women like it 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 or not. I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. Kamala has imported criminal migrants from prisons and jails, from insane asylums and mental institutions all over the world, from Venezuela to the Congo, including savage criminals who assault, rape, and murder our women and girls. Anyone who would let monsters kidnap and kill our children does not belong anywhere near the Oval Office. And my people told me about 4 weeks ago, I was saying, no, I want to protect the people. I want to protect the women of our country. I want to protect the women. Sir, please don't say that. Why? They said we think it's...
And troublemaker, man, he says, watch Kyle Kuznick's PBD interview. You know what? It's on PBDs. All right, troublemaker, you know what I like. All right, I got you on that one. Night, everyone. Need to wake up early to get into line to vote early for Trump, man. Have a great night, man. Appreciate your Big Wave Dave, man. It's so alive.
We think it's very inappropriate for you to say, so why? I'm president. I want to protect the women of our country. They said... They said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say, pay these guys a lot of money. Can you believe it? I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to protect them.
Whether they like it or not. I'm going to protect women whether I like it or not, but they frame it as, oh, I'm going to make these women have these babies whether they like it or not. Ha, 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 ha. Man, red man, orange man bad, orange man bad. So I don't know how you even believe what the left say when they just frame stuff like that. It's like, I just don't get it. But I don't know, maybe I'm personally missing something. Now, this is going to offend some people, but let's get into it. I want to see what y'all think about this.
For black people?
As I look up Troublemakers videos, well, though.
Now, it's funny. We should views on black people.
It is? It is.
How is that possible? I mean, what has he done?
What has Trump done for black people? What?
Now, it's funny. We should all laugh at this little ape here because one, let me cool out. But this little ape here, what she is supposed to do is represent black people. So they bring out someone with a black face so that they confuse you and I when we watch her. We think, oh, she's one of us. She got the complexion. She's one of us. Let's hear what she has to say. Surely she's going to speak in our interest because she looks like us. Funny thing about her, do you guys know who she's married to? And this doesn't discredit anyone. She's married to not only a white man, she done went to the white people factory. She done went all the way over to the Netherlands. But I bet when she introduces him, they're like, hey, where's your husband from? She'd be like, he from Harlem. The boy from Harlem, Netherlands. This comedian named Amber Ruffin, a theoretically black woman, but there's nothing black about her except her skin. She has went all the way to the Netherlands because the great, large, sizable country of America didn't have enough men who were worthy.
And this is the Saint in the Center. Now, yeah, I might get a little bit offended, but bear with me on this one. Bear with me. He's cooking.
And she didn't go outside of the country to go to the homeland, get her a good black man. She went to the white people factory to get the purest of whites to the Netherlands. And she has married a man named Jan Schlittmeyer. Now, if that ain't white, I don't know what is white. And then so they get this black woman who really, really wants to be like one of the whites. And they get her and they bring her up as a representative of the blacks. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with interracial dating. I'm saying that there's much wrong when you position a black woman as our representative, when in reality, you've written all of her lines, told her what to say, and you're merely making her a mouthpiece for, in fact, a spokesman of white supremacy coming from the leftist ideology. Yes, we're going to talk about it.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, how's she the black one when she's introduced by a white guy she's on his show. They've written all her lines. She's married to a white guy, and now she's about to defend black people. Let's hear what she says.
About to speak for us and how we just shouldn't vote for Trump and all this crazy stuff. I'm just like, really? You're telling us this? I'm like, who the hell are you?
The comedian, not the black intellectual, not the black political adjutant, but the comedian.
Wow.
Oh, acting goofy. That's great.
He's done this.
She's saying what Trump has done for black people. So she's being sarcastic here. This is one of the typical forms of comedy, in fact, by the left. And this is the lowest, simplest form of comedy. It's called sarcasm. So they wrote, called kneeling NFL players sons of bitch is. That's fine. That's completely fine with me. I tell you what, and here's why. Pay close attention. Number one, do I feel like we should honor the flag of the United States of America? I'm a patriot. I feel like we should honor the country, but I think the government is filthy and still is to this very day. Does it make sense that we kneel to a flag that is the same flag that held our ancestors in bondage, or is the same flag that had Jim Crow laws and wouldn't allow us to drink from a water fountain? Wouldn't allow my grandparents to go to a dentist, had to go to a dentist of a veterinarian as a dentist? Yeah, people who deal with animals because that's what they thought of us. No, I don't think it's proper that we bow down or kneel to that flag. After the Nazis ended in Germany, the flag was changed. We never changed ours. So I get that. I understand the side of Colin Kaepernick. I also, as a reasonable man, understand the side of if I was a white man in America, I've had every advantage in the society. The society has been good to me. That's my flag. And I love it. And if people don't respect it, I'm not pleased about that. I understand that. A reasonable man understands that.
And that's the part, is a reasonable man, a reasonable person in general just understands it. It's like, look, oh, how can you get behind this flag and all that? It's like, yeah, I get where you're coming from, G, but you gotta, like, bro, it's their flag at the end of the day. I understand that. And guess what, though? America also worked them, and it worked well for my black ass, too. So who am I to sit there and be mad at the flag? For what? Actually, ain't it crazy how some of these people kneel for the flag, but you're making millions of dollars only in America where you could do this for running a football? An American-only sport, and you're kneeling down on the flag when it's American-only sport is like, come on now. I mean, maybe you should pick a different profession to kneel on. I'm just saying. And man, and shout out to Gerard. He said, who is this fellow? And this is the saint in the center. Marquette Devon Burton. There we go. Okay. I want to make sure I pronounced it right, because he be on ass if you don't.
So if he says those guys are SOBs for that, I get that. I don't have a major issue with that.
And Walton's trying to get me in trouble. You're going to read this one.
Walton writes, and wipe that stupid smile off your face. NIGGA's always got to show their teeth. Cube. Oh, agree. And that's why they picked the black female, you see, because the male is the threat. So they either need an effeminized black male, the feminine black male like the Don Lemon, or the Trevor Noah, who's not even a black American. They get the watered down one, and put them up to speak their thoughts. Or they get the bed wench. And the reason all should be able to respect what I'm saying is because I have the ability to understand each side and be reasonable on both sides. I understand why you would kneel instead of standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I also understand why one should stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I will not lie and say that either side is 100% correct. Either side is biased. And they have good reason to push their own agenda and issue. So look at this little smiling little, whoo. Why is she dressed like it's the 1960s? Anyways, kneeling NFL players called them SOBs. Now, what does that have to do with black people? Are athletes and musicians the representatives of black people? Just imagine an entire people being having their political class as athletes and rappers. That doesn't make any sense. It's despicable. What about our intellectuals? So when you are basically substituting out black people for NFL player, because most of us don't play football.
Yeah.
Last I checked. This is how we know they're lying. Because right now she is talking about what Trump has done for black people, and she's saying he called some names to some guys who get millions of dollars to run footballs.
Call of NFL players sons of bitches. I'm like, how's that against black people? Aren't there white people in the NFL? There's Hispanics in there too. So what's the problem here?
Who? Let's get into this little monkey here.
He's done that.
Demanded to see Obama's birth certificate. Well, truth be told, Barack Obama is one man. How does that have anything to do with his views on black people? Obama is one man. If I were to say something against one woman, that doesn't mean I hate all women. If I were to say something against one Chinese person, that doesn't mean I'm speaking ill of China or all Chinese people. This is one person. Furthermore, Barack Obama is not even an African.
Just because we're speaking on Puerto Rico doesn't mean we're just insulting all Puerto Ricans and telling them that they're trash. We're just saying that, Puerto Rico right now is looking a little bit trashy.
American. He's the result of a white and an East African, which means he's completely unrelated to African Americans. In fact, he would be more closely categorized as a white American because he at least has white American blood in him. He doesn't even have African American blood in him. So this has nothing to do. It's completely irrelevant. You see what they're doing? They're trying to confuse you. They've yet to identify something where Trump says something about black people.
He's done this and this.
Now, here it is. Now, we're talking about Donald Trump as a president, mind you, as a president. Now, here's the funny thing. They're supposed to be assessing Trump as a president. Yet we see that this is about Trump as a landlord, refused to rent to black tenants. That's him as a landlord. That's not him as a president.
Ooh.
Those are his business practices. That has completely nothing to do with his presidency. Now, here's the thing. You're talking about a guy who actually was in office. You got 4 years of data. You can't pull anything from 4 years of his actual presidency to validate your claims of him being racist against black people. Well, that's kind of sus. I'm suspicious of you now.
Man,
secondly, I actually have been a landlord as well. And all of my time as a landlord, I had 2 issues. One was with this white guy who's actually an accountant. And apparently he had mental health issues. He was dating a black guy. So he was a very corny white guy accountant, dating a black girl. Did I say black guy? My fault. He was dating a black girl. And man, he destroyed my home, destroyed the home. So I was like, I'm never going to rent out to people with mental health issues. So like I had to add that as a part of my screening process. And then also I had an African-American single mama divorcee who also destroyed my property. And I actually did her a favor because like, you black, I'm black, stick together, my sister, let me help you out. Because others might be discriminating against you. But it turns out that the discrimination may be for good reason. It might not be that he wasn't renting to black people. It might have been that he was renting to people of a certain income. And black people have.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, yeah, like, oh, well, he didn't rent the black tenants. I'm like, well, what type of black tenants did you put in front of him? Do we make sure that they accounted for income, what they were doing, and all this good stuff? Like, did we break down the applications of the white and black people just to go there and say, oh, well, he only accepted white tenants? And I'm like, maybe if the right black tenant pulled up, they might have got it. They might have got it. I mean, Michael Jackson got a couple rooms in Trump hotels, so I don't see why a black person couldn't get a residency under Trump. I'm pretty sure there are black people who have gotten residencies under Trump that y'all don't want to talk about, but y'all just want to talk about what? Oh, him refusing to rent to black tenants, even though when you look through the court file, he never admitted to that.
Happen to be the lowest income people in America, and that's their biggest issue, poverty. And that has always been the biggest issue for blacks in America, poverty. That's what they need to address.
Okay, Max Sauce came in. He said, remember, nobody reached out.
Right.
There's one thing I do want to bring up.
And he actually did pardon some very well-known black folks who actually have said things that are critical about him, namely Kodak Black, for example, the rapper, whom, truth be told, Kodak makes decent music, so I don't mind him making music. There are some rappers, they make such terrible music, they probably should be. Is this boy doing? Now, here we go.
I want to get into this part of it, though.
Now, let's listen here.
This is real. I was fined $695 for not having medical insurance in 2016 under Obamacare. Okay.
Under Obamacare. And this is what we're talking about, that mandate, the required mandate, that if you didn't fall under it, they was going to fine your ass. And Trump released that mandate. That's when he said, yo, we need a different plan with healthcare besides Obamacare because it's ridiculous. And people were complaining about it. And Trump was the only person who came in there and said, let me remove this authoritarian dictator-like mandate and let me help out. Let me help y'all out. And he also helped out, well, honestly, the insurance industry or the healthcare industry.
Let me go ahead and tell you how real this was. I, too, was fined for not having medical insurance. At that time, I was a very young man in my early 20s, building a tech company. I also had employees that I had hired. We received significant fines for not providing health insurance. Not only did this hurt me as an impoverished black man and an entrepreneur, it also hurt many others who were running businesses because if they were offering full-time work but not offering certain health benefits, they had to reduce full-time workers to be part-time workers so that they didn't have to abide by Obama's requirement to provide health insurance. So what happened is a lot of people who were gainfully employed had their full-time employment reduced to part-time employment, or they were fired and let go because Obama, not being a businessman, put increased financial burden on small business. Who runs small business? Poorer people, lower income Americans. When black people run businesses, are they generally running the big businesses or the small businesses? Yeah, this woman is speaking the truth. Let's hear more from her. And thank you to those who consistently support the work as I go on. I do appreciate that. Here she is speaking her mind.
Okay, so why is he gonna fine me $695?
I don't know, but this was our
because their so-called black president didn't have nothing good in mind for black Americans.
Believe it or not,
You don't know what's.
Do you feel like Trump is actually doing more for Black Americans than Obama did?
Oh, most definitely. When he repealed the individual mandate, although I have medical, if I decide to drop it, I won't be fined when I file my taxes in 2020. Okay?
So what she's saying is that Trump is allowing you to keep more of your own money.
Yeah.
What Obama did was he actually took more money out of the pockets of everyday people. Notice the hypocrisy here. I want you to observe how this interviewer is so biased, trying to insert his opinion into this black person's mind.
Who are you going to vote for today?
More than likely Trump again.
Why?
I don't know. He's hitting on a lot of measures that I'm kind of like concerned about. You know?
Like what? Tell me what.
Well, the black community, I am concerned about us. Being able to get employment, education for black people is very serious and critical here.
Now, number one, you can tell by the interviewer, not you, I can tell by the interviewer's tonation that this is a black interviewer. Secondly, he seems like he might be curious about her reasons, but we're about.
Honestly, it sounded like he's more condescending about it. Like, man, listen, like what? It kind of sounded more like that. But you know what, man? Let's go out to my man handing out MAGA hats in the hood, man. This should be a funny one. Quick little intermission, guys, before we get right back into the debate style of this. Whoops. How the F? Man, go back to where my man was handing out MAGA hats in the hood. Hold on. Let's go. Man, shout out, man.
Donald Trump was president. Was life better?
Life was 100 times better, and I felt like the tip of the spear was sharp. Come on now.
Woo! America. This man, Donald Trump, is the best thing that ever happened to America, and I'm gonna tell you why.
God, we saying it real now. It's like America.
Let's go.
Of course. Who you voting for?
Trump.
Yeah, why's that?
Because we need to be Republican again.
I don't know what they got to say about Trump, but I know what I got to say about him. I'll with him. Excuse my language.
Hold on, we gonna see that.
Get the flash.
Throw that joint on, yeah.
Oh, these my people right here.
Watch out,
2024. Now I got to put that on for real.
Do you think Kamala would ever come to this neighborhood?
Who is that?
Yeah.
Bro, Trump training.
You want to make America great again?
Yeah.
Hey, this man got the craziest Trump chain ever right now. Hold on.
Make America great again, baby.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let me see. Woo! Yeah, that's the look right there, my brother. There you go.
Essentially, that America was in better hands under Donald Trump, so vote Trump.
Welcome to Fulton County, Georgia, otherwise known as Atlanta. It's one of the most dangerous counties in all of America. It also votes overwhelmingly for Democrats. This place has seen better days, that's for sure. How popular is the MAGA hat around here? You wouldn't expect it, but Donald Trump did go to a Chick-fil-A in this county. He's also being prosecuted in this county, and this is the county that gave us the legendary Trump mugshot. We rolled up in the Trump Rolls Royce with rapper Forgiato Blow to hand out MAGA.
A Trump Rolls Royce? Bro, this dude's Trump chain is crazy. Let's go.
Hats in the hood today in Fulton County. Let's see if the people of Fulton County want president with a mugshot. What's up, guys? We're out here in Fulton County with the Rolls Royce full of MAGA hats, Forgiato Blow. We're going to be handing these hats out today and see the reaction the fine people in Atlanta. Is this Trump country? Let's go find out, boys.
Trump country, baby. West side Atlanta. Let's go.
Who wants a MAGA hat? The setup for the free MAGA hat giveaway is pretty simple. We just parked the Rolls Royce on the curb and started handing out hats.
Okay.
Instantly, a crowd formed, and we asked a simple question. Why are you voting for Donald Trump? They are for you. Make America great again.
This man, Donald Trump, is the best thing that ever happened to America, and I'm gonna tell you why. He don't hide his feelings. He don't hide his emotions. He don't hide who he is. Do you want somebody to hide who they are? No, and Donald Trump doesn't do that. I love Trump. Let's go.
You have more money.
Let's go, Trump.
You have more money with Trump, right?
Let's go.
More money with Trump.
Let's go for the man, too.
Make sure you go vote for that hat, you feel me? You can get my hat off my head. Keep pushing the knowledge of the kids in the street. Vote Trump. There you go.
No, we not voting Trump because it's a racist situation. We voting Trump because we believe in the South and our gun rights, right? I'm pro-life. I think inflation was...
And shout out Maya. Biden, vote for me or you ain't black. I mean, yeah, and look how black these people are. Man, shout out, man. Blacks for Trump, man. I kind of like it because they no longer have us just as a monolith. And then that's the thing. Like, honestly, that's where the Democrats effed up, is this where Biden says, well, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. If you're black and you're voting for, Trump, you're a bootlicker, you're a race betrayer, all this stuff that's honestly just going to make the black man buck. I mean, let's be real. I'm not sure if that work on black women, but most black men, you tell that to, they're going to look at you crazy as hell and be like, all right, great. Now I'm really going to vote for this man. And it's not even be defiant. It's honestly just to sit there and tell y'all, bro, y'all ain't about to tell me how to think and how I should move with my family. Because when you're trying to force us to vote liberal, you're pretty much telling us that, oh, well, the way you want to raise your family, the way you want America to be is wrong.
Was under control during Trump. It's time for America to get back to being great. And no, America wasn't always great for black folks, Latino folks, white folks. Ain't nothing wrong with being pro-America. We born here, we raised here. We ain't never seen nothing else. Most of us, these neighborhoods, American heroes, American history. Why not? You see artists supporting things you're supposed to do. You go in any other country around the world, they doing it. Why can't we love our country? Why can't we, make America great again? I'm a small business owner. You see my son in the car with me. We just dropped off an order. We trying to do business. I love Atlanta. I love this city. Some people vote blue, some people vote red. Me, I have a right to say, hey, I want to make America great again. I believe in brotherhood. I believe in sisterhood. I believe in spirituality. I believe all the good things that made this country great still exist. Back before Donald Trump ran for president, we all wanted to be like him. And if you say different, you a lie.
I'm a Democrat, you know what I'm saying? I've been Democrat for years, but she ain't making sense to me, you know? She gotta make sense to me. She ain't made no sense. She ain't made her policies foundation. She ain't made it strong enough, so I don't mess with her. I hope Trump win. Just put it like that there. I hope Trump win.
What do you think about the border?
I think what Trump did with the border, what we needed. I don't like everybody coming over here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't do that in their country. They'll lock our up. Yes. They'll kill us. That's why Trump, man.
What's up, Trump? We can't even sell our products in their country without getting it heavily taxed, but they could sell their products in our country with barely any tax. I mean, trust me. There's a lot of things that these countries do that we don't do to them back that we need to start doing.
You a MAGA hat? You want a MAGA hat, my brother?
For sure. I don't know what they got to say about Trump, but I know what I got to say about him. I'll with him. Excuse my language.
Get you one right there, my man.
Thank you.
Yep. Y'all want a hat? Free hat?
Love him. He for the community.
Community, for the people.
For the people.
Help people get money, care about people, right?
Trump 2024. Trump 2025. 2024 over with. I like America. I want America to be great. He says he's going to do it, so hey, I'm putting my word in him.
Yeah, man.
Trump, man. Vote Trump, man. Make America great again.
Tell me the reason why you just said, though.
Oh, Trump like that money. He ain't racist, man.
Make America great again. Make America rich again.
Make America great again, man.
Look at this.
Vote for Trump.
Look at that.
Trump 2024. I already voted.
Yeah.
Look, man.
You voted Trump.
I voted Trump. You know I voted Trump, man. Who better than to run a country than a businessman when a country of business, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't want to see that woman in office at all. Not because she's a woman, just because of her track history. I'm saying she done locked up too many black men as a prosecutor, so she'll never get my vote. I'm Trump all day. I own a black truck company. Anybody voting for Trump, call me. Free rides to the voting booth if you vote for Trump. If you voting for Kamala, I'm charging you extra.
I'm weak. My man too funny for that. He's there following what JD said, man. Find 10 people you know and vote 10 times. How you vote 10 times? I'm sorry, he said you got to go to the poll, vote 10 times. How you vote 10 times? By finding 10 people you know and pull up to make sure they all voting for Trump. Let's go.
The news won't show that there's people out here in the hood or different areas rocking with Trump. We come out here, we can't even keep these
from our Ohioans, vote no to issue one. Vote no to issue one.
Things in hand, they taking them.
Yeah, we with Trump.
Make America great again.
Trump it up.
Yeah. That's it. Make Trump great again.
Why you voting Trump, man?
Well, because I like him, man. Me personally, I like him. I like his personality. I like his attitude. And I like his understanding of how he need to shape, how America need to be shaped again.
Hold up. MAGA hat delivery.
Rolls Royce, baby.
MAGA hat delivery.
Thank you.
Oh, these my people by him.
Watch out.
2024. And all you got. Now I got to put that on for real.
Was life better for you under Trump?
Trump, most definitely.
Most
better
definitely.
years here. Yeah.
Most definitely,
Yep.
definitely. We didn't see Trump here in this same Chick-fil-A before.
Do you think Kamala would ever come to this neighborhood?
Who is that?
Yeah. Make America great again.
Okay.
Where we at right now?
So we in Atlanta.
West side?
This your roads. I'm gonna be something heavy. Hold on. Y'all like a hot mess, but hold on, let me see.
Yeah, that's you right there.
Make America great again. All right. Sir, was your life better when Trump was president?
Oh, yeah. It was better when he was the president. It wasn't better when